Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good night, wherever and whenever you're listening to this. Welcome. Welcome to today's Town Hall session. We're writing the Town Hall number 26. It is absolutely amazing being your host today. I'm on Clue, and I'd like to talk with you today a little bit about upcoming changes as well as what is going on in general. Before we do start, as always, town halls are for you, for the plebs, for the people that are interested in open source development, especially from the Open Source Minus United community. And if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the town hall chat. We do have a chat window, which you can find on the top right section of your Discord client, or if you use the web, I don't know how it works there, whatever. But yeah, please leave any questions if you do have any, or leave a comment. If you want to have a chat, raise your hand. I'll make sure to bring you up on the stage and then we can have a chat. I mean, these town halls are for you guys, so don't be afraid to ask any questions. All right, before we do dive into a couple topics that we need to talk about, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas afterwards. I hope all of you had wonderful Christmas days and wonderful Christmas Eve. I myself did have one lovely with the family, so therefore I'm pleasant on that. All right, so let's talk about a couple of software things, right? Sometimes that's the topics that people don't like to hear. Sometimes these are the only topics that people want to hear. So I'll do just what I regularly do. I talk a little bit about upcoming changes. And I ignore the boo from Crypto Ice. Dude, raise your hand and come up on stage if you want to talk about a different topic, please. So let's get him on the stage here. Hey there.
Hi, mate.
Before you do say anything, let me go over the things that I wanted to say, because I think it's needed and a couple of people are interested in that. Because currently we are sitting at the version 2.4.2, which is the latest version for the Bitaxe device. And just to be clear here, this is for the single ASIC Bitaxe. For the multi-ASIC Bitaxe, we do have a different repository, which is currently more or less abundant. I cannot really pronounce this word, but whatever. Yeah, it's a little bit tough to be on multiple fronts, I'd say. And we do have lots of people in here doing lots of great work on the hardware, on the software, and plenty other things. We even do have our own meme channel, and we do have our own official meme officer, which is, I just need to say this, if you haven't checked it out, do so. It's lovely and heartwarming if you do take a look into the meme channel. But yeah, let's go over a couple of changes that we do have for the potential next upcoming release, which will probably be 2.4.3. So first of all, let's go into GitHub. And we do have a couple of things that have been changed. For example, initially we were thinking about enabling PSRAM. Mutatrum did a PR for that. And if you do not know what this is, basically the ESP32 does have two different forms of memory. We do have the regular memory, which does have a small capacity, which we're currently using. And then we do have as well a memory section, which is called the PSRAM, or you can also call it the SPI RAM. There are multiple of them, and what I'm trying to say here is we are currently not using the full potential when it comes to the memory and things that we can store and allocate to a couple of sections of the device. And therefore we were thinking about enabling the PSRAM, and it worked, but the issue with that is it only worked on a beta release of the ESP IDF, which is the compiler that we are using for this project here, for the ESP chip, to process and build this firmware to get it out and release it to GitHub so that you guys can download it. The issue with that is if we would rely on a beta version for an upcoming feature, you could say it would be a little bit inconsistent in using that, because what if some of the features in the beta release get scraped and then we are trying to build on top of a system that is not reliable? So therefore we needed to revert that, but luckily E. Anderson did another PR for SPI RAM, which we will probably use. There's currently a couple of firmware testing going on in the firmware channel. Probably not that much because we are still in the holiday season, but nevertheless, so still during Christmas and New Year is coming closer and closer. Still things are brewing, which is awesome. And the next thing, and this is then the last thing when we're talking about software, so then we can start with you, Crypto Eyes, is that a couple of you guys were eager about the new UI change, and some of you liked it, some of you disliked it, and therefore I thought it might be the best solution to give you guys a little bit more modification abilities of your Bitaxe web UI. And therefore I just did a more or less dirty implementation of a couple of theme color changes, which are currently also tested, which would allow you on, currently it is set on the settings page, that you could change between a dark mode, which is the current one that you're seeing if you do go on the web UI of your Bitaxe device, or a light mode. And don't be afraid by the word light mode. I intended to call it like that, but it is just lighter colors. It is still a dark-ish thing, but it is lighter from the intensity, or however you want to call it. So these are the two options that you do have. And then on top of that, I was thinking, hey, we do have a couple of people that might have issues with red and green or other colors. And therefore I added a couple of other color themes as well, which will not change the background or anything else, but a couple of buttons, so that you do see these buttons no matter if you do have any disabilities in terms of seeing colors or anything else. Currently there's red, blue, green and purple as an option. Maybe we need to add more, maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So these are, I think, over the holiday season, the only current changes that are upcoming in my mind. Let me quickly take a look on that. Yeah, we also do have a couple other changes, and I think it is not really good to go over all of them. So therefore, I'd say we now start with another topic and talk a little bit more about things that you guys are interested. For example, you Crypto Eyes. And then hopefully you guys can also add in a couple of comments, leave some things that you want to hear about or whatever. And if you just want to wish a Merry Christmas afterwards in the chat, that's also fun.
Yeah, just Merry Christmas to everyone. Like I was talking to you earlier, I was just thinking maybe we should try and get everybody who's got a project running in here to talk and give people an update and just exchange maybe this forum or have another forum where we can just talk nerdy stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. You
help each
were
other.
recently writing in, I don't know, I don't really recall which exact channel this was, but you were writing about the fact that we might need to have another sort of town hall or stage event.
Yeah, call it whatever.
Where we do talk about what exactly?
We'll just help each other. I mean, there's been a lot of people who, it's quite difficult to try and explain to someone how to fix something over text or DMs in writing. Sometimes you just have to explain it voice whilst they're attempting it, if that makes any sense.
It does.
I didn't know, and a lot of us are quite quiet people, don't like to talk. So I thought it'd be maybe a less formal, not recorded tech chat discussion. And people are welcome to trigger it. Happy to put some time aside to assist people. So I just thought, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, as you said in the chat to you, I do like the idea, and I think there is probably potential for that we do have another session where people can just exchange. I'd love to see that. I do recognize that plenty of these people that are in here are here for the tech, and they just want to zip quietly what's coming up, what's brewing, what kind of news do we have, which is definitely nice. And of course I would wish more people to interact with each other, but on the other hand you cannot force them. So if you want to go this, if you want to go this route, and if you want to have like another town hall or anything like that, I'd love to have you being there as the host or anything to set up this techie session.
I feel people maybe, as I said, less formal, maybe definitely not recorded. Just a tech support sort of chat.
Yeah.
exchange ideas and do's and don'ts. I mean, I've got an interest in a few of the channels. I mean, it's for me, it's the emergent, the solar stuff, the overclocking stuff. Um, Again, it could be any topic. There's a lot of other things software related. Doesn't have to be necessarily hardware, but yeah, I don't know. We'll pick a date, and we just have to find a way to notify people. That we'll make a voice channel or use the main voice channel and go from there.
I think that can be a great thing to do. I do see potential for that so that more people do get it. Especially, it could be sometimes a little bit, I'd say, frustrating for a couple of people. We do have plenty of lovely people here that are helping so often other people out. And newcomers are joining in every single day. And then sometimes I do see it in the way how they write that they have said the exact same words like repeatedly over and over and over again. I do get it. Plenty of people that are joining into this community are a little bit frustrated by the fact that we do use Discord, but I mean, for us, we do think it's a great platform to use because we can exchange so many things like pictures, videos, links, text, of course, a stage, a video call, whatever you want to do. So therefore, this platform, Discord itself, is really nice. It is just unfortunate that so many people don't know that Discord has a search functionality. So, I mean, you could literally just go on this server, uh, apply to the rules, and then enter a chat, hack in a couple of these keywords that you're looking for, bitaches, overheat, I don't know, anything else, and then something will pop up. I do know it will take more time, and that's probably the key point here that people are not willing to spend time on researching things, but rather waiting for someone to answer their question, no matter how often they ask that. So it's a double sided medal, I'd say, probably. But back to the point of your idea of having something like that, I, I'd say that might be a pretty cool idea. I'd love to see that. I mean, you cannot really pick any date because you need to set a date.
I mean, it was all triggered. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Me and you were having a chat in voice, and some newcomer jumped into your call, and he
Mm-hmm.
was asking a few basic questions, and it was pretty easy to resolve his issue in a couple of minutes over voice.
Yeah.
Uh, so something similar, maybe if I don't know, a person myself or others who are willing to do the same or have a chat, we can make it for just an announcement and say we're in voice and come and hang out if you want to talk.
I mean, that's the whole point about it, right? As you said, like it was pretty easy to solve these issues in a couple of minutes while talking, right?
Yeah.
So the other way would be that you need to sit there, wait for their question answered, wait for another question answered again, and this would take, I'd say, let's say 10 minutes. In the same amount of time, you could have helped in voice probably five people, even more at the same time. I don't know. So I do.
Listen, some things are easy to point them. I mean, sometimes we just point them to the right channel
Mm,
and they go and read. It's as simple as that. I'm talking obviously a lot more complex stuff. I mean, I'm working on a number of projects. I know a lot of other guys are working on a lot of other complex projects. Um, a lot of our projects have overlap. For example, I'll give you an example. I saw a new project pop up. Um, Hang on, what's it called? The last one in the member projects, the one that's solar and miner together. It's got major overlap with something that I'm working on with the solar bit, for example. So it'd be lovely to sit down with people with common interests. I mean, we're all open source and just discuss things that I've come across, things that they come across. Maybe it'll save me time. Maybe they can save some time. Um, as an example, um, there's a lot of people now tinkering with overclocking.
oh
Um,
yeah.
a number of us.
Have you seen lately? So let's quickly dive into that. So on X, this platform, I still call it Twitter, whatever. Um, there is this BitX Worldwide group or something like that. I do believe.
Yeah, there's loads of groups. I mean, it's
Yeah,
quite hard to
so many
cover 'em,
Bitaxe
but
groups and
yeah.
other hardware groups as well. But it's funny lately. There are so many posts about overclocking and things like that. And usually I'm just like, hey, have you seen the overclocks of Crypto Eyes? He was pushing like 3 terahash,
Mm.
and people are going nuts
No,
about it.
that's why we did it. I mean, a lot of us are tech nerds. I mean, we did it a year ago when we started trying to blow these things up.
Yeah.
Um, and we saw some magical performances. I mean, we don't care about efficiency, obviously, but yeah, and that sparked a lot of interest. As time progressed, we've seen a lot more people and a lot more people basically just let their imagination go wild and test cooling systems, pace systems, designs, different layouts, uh, wild heat sinks, everything, whatever. That's the whole idea. I mean, fuck around and find out.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, no, it's lovely. But now there's enough people that have done plenty of work where we can start having more in-depth discussions about the subject and try and come up with crazier ideas. Um, yeah, Frankenstein. I mean, we need to step it up. Sixth generation cooling for the Bitaxe.
I mean, it's just so crazy. I mean, cooling itself is one thing, and probably most of you guys that do own a Bitaxe, they do probably have the stock fan and the stock heatsink. But lately, like Duncan IMGPIO was releasing his Bitchin' Sink. I do love the name still.
Yeah.
I still need to get one, by the way, but uh, it looks so nice, and I'm craving every single day for the results of a couple of people to see what they have come up with, because I want to, as I said in the last town hall, what I want to do is we do have the OSMU wiki that hopefully most of you guys know. And if you don't know, check it out because we have plenty of information over there as well, just to make it even better accessible to more people. It is still work in progress, and you can also contribute to the wiki if you want to do so. It's just writing text and adding in information. So it would be lovely if you do that. And by the way, if the people that are listening to this recorded town hall later on don't know where you can find us, check it out at discord.gg/osmu. We do have a section which is called OSMU Lab, where we do basically try to give as much information about things that we figured out. For example, on all the AC chips, the Beam1397, the 66, the 68, the 70, and so on. So we're trying to get as much information out as possible. For example, with the pin out, which pin out does what, as well as other things. We also do have a overview where we will publish papers from people in this community. I don't know if anybody of you has any related project to Bitcoin, open source mining projects, anything else, and wrote an article or a paper about it and wants it to be published. This is your way to shine. Just PR it, and I'd love to also put it onto the lab there, because we need to give more information out to the people so that this over exists us, I'd say. Probably this will be there even if we are gone.
Indeed.
But yeah, I was getting away
So
from.
since it's hang on, subject of overclocking, we need to spice things up a little bit. What about a little health competition? And we put somewhere a little wager with some stats. Who's up for it in the chat?
I mean, you're coming up with so crazy ideas. So what's in your mind?
I don't know. I'm thinking. Oh, let's give a little prize for overclocking competition.
Liquid nitrogen, bring it. So,
I
but
don't
wait,
know.
wait, wait, wait,
Whatever. I
wait,
mean,
wait,
let's.
wait, 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 wait. Before we dive into that, it's a funny topic, but there's one thing that I need to make sure that you guys know. If we're getting into overclocking of these ASIC chips, there are a couple of weird behaviors if you do drop below a certain percentage of temperature or
Hey, why are you giving all the
degrees
secrets
Celsius.
away? Don't give all the secrets away.
Hey. I mean, I need to, otherwise they were quiet.
Well, no, but come on, man. We're not giving handicaps here.
Wait. K1 was
Um,
posting a link to something on AliExpress. What's? Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. This
liquid
is some
nitrogen.
liquid nitrogen shit. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Oof.
Oof.
By the
Oof.
way,
No, it
before we
doesn't
do
like
forget
that
this,
cold.
wait. Let's make a quick cut here. I do know it's a little bit unorganized today, but guys, it's after Christmas. It is close to New Year, so today's town hall is more of a chill session, I'd say. And I really, really love it to see so many people joined in here today. So I really quickly want to give a shout out to Weird Robot. He posted quickly in the town hall chat that he has created a wrapper for the Bitaxe API, a REST client. And I was quickly taking a look on it, and I was not going over the code or anything else, but I was just looking into the GitHub repo. So if I'm not mistaken, Weird Robot, this looks like a sort of software that you can use to manage multiple Bitaxes, hopefully, via CLI, if I'm not mistaken here. Or does it also have a GUI? So it would be nice if you do state this in your README file as well. But other than that, I love to see that. Just a CLI. Create a GUI. Oh man. No, that's lovely. That's great to see. I will check this out probably in the next couple of days as soon as I do have a little bit of time. It's good to see new things coming up. I mean, guys, you do know this. If you take a look into member projects, which is a whole section here on this Discord channel, Discord server, we do have so many channels of projects that are upcoming, that are currently existing, and also if you do think like, oh, that's not that much, scroll a little bit further down. There is a channel or a archive channel section where we also do have other channels, because what we were trying to do here is not to delete any of these channels, but archive them if they are no longer in use, and maybe bring them back if they are needed in the future again. So who knows? But yeah, so just that you know, there are so many crazy projects. And I love to see that there's now a Bitaxe CLI tool written in Rust 100%. Amazing. So probably no memory leaks over there. So let's go back into overclocking and stuff there. So yeah, we need somebody trying out liquid nitrogen on a Bitaxe. Please do that. We will not pay for the liquid nitrogen or anything else. If you do damage yourself, that's on your own.
Ben, is your pool ready to accept the challenge? Because we want to make sure that our pool is tip top.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what you mean by is his pool up for a challenge.
Oh no, he was doing some work, wasn't he? Some upgrades and stuff. So I was just thinking if we're running a little 24-hour challenge for hash rate,
I mean, I do think
overclocking hash rate.
even if you would fire like a whole farm, like a whole warehouse full of miners at his pool, the pool wouldn't care. It was.
No, I was just thinking, make sure he's not doing the maintenance and the replan restarts and stuff. That's all.
I mean, you never know. It's a private entity basically, so you never know when he needs to do a restart.
I'm just trying to coordinate. That's all.
I see. Yeah. So I do see plenty of new people that I have never seen here before in the audience. Guys, do you have any questions, anything that you want to get answered, or I don't know. There are no stupid questions. If you do have a lucky miner and you want to ask anything about that in here, I'll be happy to ban you. Apart from that, I'm open for any questions.
Yeah.
OC challenge with liquid nitrogen, that's nuts. I mean, it would be nuts, really. I mean, I don't know who has liquid nitrogen at home to test this stupid stuff. And then, I mean, you need to create your own liquid nitrogen tank that would fit onto this ASIC. And by the way, these ASICs between these models, they do have different sizes. So you might find this also challenging. I don't know, maybe.
How much? What do you think is a fair amount of time to give someone to prepare for the challenge, for a 24-hour overclock challenge? I mean, if someone wants to build something.
For a 24-hour overclock challenge?
Yeah, so let's go. I'll put 50,000 sats wager, yeah, Lightning, for a 24-hour single chip average overclock hash rate on public pool. But how much time will need to prepare for such a challenge?
Wait, maybe this is really a great thing to also introduce something to the community. So, um, wait. Before we dive into that, I do have an answer for what I do think is a appropriate amount for preparation, and I do love it. I will also throw in 50k sets. What I want to say here
Okay.
is,
That means you have to join the challenge. You can't just throw it in.
I just
You have to
throw
put
it
a
into.
machine towards it.
Listen. I do have an idea. Okay, let's make this some sort of an official thing here. You know.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the thing is, plenty of you
I,
guys
I
do.
need a
Wait, wait,
week.
wait, wait,
I'll
wait,
need a
wait.
week to get the
Hey,
rust off my tools.
wait,
Uh,
chill. I want to say
right, full
something.
view. I'm chill.
So, plenty of you guys do know we do have this community, and there are a couple of admins like Scott, Ben, Survapes a lot, and me, and we do have a channel called Donations where we do take donations for projects that we are working on. Like, for example, we need to order new prototypes for an upcoming release or anything else, or we do have projects from the community, and people are proposing to us and saying, hey, I want to get a grant for working on this. It is tied around Bitaxe, or I just want to create this new device. Can you help me with that financially wise? So these are the things that we are doing with the BTC. And probably you do know that if you have taken a look into the donation channel and into the sponsored projects, or wait, what's it named? So many channel names, funded projects. I'm sorry. So the thing is, we do have a Lightning address there, and we do have an on-chain address there, and we have a Strike address currently. And we were thinking about going away from Strike for the reason being that only one person can be in charge of that. And the issue with that is probably overseeable by everybody of you. So it has its own challenges if only one of all of your admins can control a Lightning wallet. So what we did is we sort of have a new node which will have Lightning as well. And I lately had a discussion with the co-founder of GetLB, and we got our GetLB hub. So we now do have our own LB node. We still need to change the LN URL to something more appropriate, but for now we do have OSMU at GetLB. And what I wanted to say here is, I think it might be really cool to use this Lightning address now for this upcoming challenge and put in a couple of sets into that. And whatever is in there will be donated to the 24-hour overclock challenge. Because currently there's nothing in there, right? I still need to open up a couple of channels before we do that. So you cannot donate anything currently to this wallet address. But I think that would be a cool idea, right? Because sure, everybody can say, yeah, I will donate something to this, or I will throw in a little bit. No, I just want to throw in 50k to that, and I don't even pretend that I'm into overclocking that much, comparable to you, Crypto Eyes, or any of these other big guys in here that are doing overclocking all day long. So I will just throw in these 50k sats into the pool of this Lightning address. And I think that would be a cool thing to also use this and then have our first Lightning transaction to the winner of it.
Yeah,
So to answer your question,
I'm, I'm buying in my membership for 50k. So if anybody wants to take it on, the question is to, I mean, we'll write something up with the terms and the rules, and we'll have a chat with Ben to see how we judge it. Um, but the question is, how much time do people need to prepare? Reasonable, I mean, I would say 10 days.
yeah, yeah. I'm currently thinking about it.
For round one, at least. I mean, there can be challenges and appeals and um, rematches kind of thing for round two. But yeah, if anybody's interested, put your hand up
Head
and
up means you want to come on stage.
whatever. I mean, yeah, come on stage.
I mean, Either way would be cool. I do think, yeah, 10 days is reasonable. I mean, I'm not
When's the
sure if
town
that
hall?
many people do have liquid nitrogen, but by the way, don't do liquid nitrogen. That's not a good idea. But yeah,
No, any cooling. I mean, I'm going immersion, but obviously other people want to go air cooled and whatever.
I bet K1 does have liquid nitrogen at home. I bet.
Yeah, I mean, 10 days for him to prepare. I mean,
I mean, what are you guys thinking about it? Having a little challenge? Would you love to see something like that? Giving this whole topic a little bit more attraction? Oh, too late. I already tempted Duncan with nitrogen. I mean, Duncan. Um, okay, wait. I need to. I need to set up a inbound channel liquidity to our node, so that we do can receive anything. Okay. I think a couple of people of you are interested in that. Would be nice if you do use the chat from the people that are currently in the audience and say, I don't know, thumbs up, thumbs down, something like that, so that we do get some sort of a live interaction here to see if you guys think that is something that would be nice. I do love it. I mean, anyway, we're creating that, but just want to see what the response of the people is, and maybe some of you are creating some crazy numbers. Because what really matters is the 24-hour hash rate probably, and yeah, what is that?
A1, that fluid for that stuff is insane. That stuff boils at like, what is it, like 30 degrees Celsius?
What the heck is that?
It's a different way of immersion cooling. Can't remember the official name of it, but it's you'll see it on some videos from 3M where it's a special liquid that boils at like really stupid low temperatures, and the bubbles take away the heat, and you'll see all the components on the server rack so bubbling away instead of just flying past it. Yeah, 34C again.
I mean,
Something like
there are a couple of prerequisites. So I'll make sure to write down a couple of rules for the 24-hour overclock challenge. But the thing is, we need to create a specific firmware for that, which disables plenty of features that we currently do have on the Bitaxe. And we need to tell the people that they need to be aware of the fact that if they do attempt to flash this firmware to the Bitaxe, and if they do fry the Bitaxe, it's not our fault. Because
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's down to the user, to be quite honest. I mean, it's I've seen people without unlocking stuff. They obviously sit in a silicon lottery machine, and they're doing much better than, for example, that I was pulling with all the stops off.
mm-hmm.
My problem at the moment is somehow I need to figure out how to put a bigger MOSFET, bigger TPS on it, because I've literally taken 60 watts out of the thing, which is max amps, and we still haven't killed or crashed or burnt the ASIC.
Mm-hmm.
We run out of power.
So
So,
I don't
what
know.
do you,
Is
I
this
thought,
really a good challenge? Because we do have like this hardware limitation here.
well, I mean, if somebody else can get to the top of the TPS's power output without cooking it, and they're sitting on an awesome ASIC chip, they will do a lot better. I mean, the one I have is mediocre, I would say, in performance. Unlike the as one of the supers I have, which is outshining itself. I mean, it's hunting down the gamma quite well.
I'm currently thinking about it. I mean, in my master thesis, I was writing a specific firmware where people could enable diagnostic things. So they would regularly send diagnostics over to my server that I could use for my master thesis. And by the way, it went awesome. But I did set that plenty of months ago. Um, I'm currently thinking what is really needed. So for the software, we do need to eliminate all the fault states so that the TPS does whatever we tell it to do. But I'm currently thinking, what if we do have let's say 20 people, all of them reached the peak of the capability of the TPS around 60 watt ish on 1.2
Well, then we
volts.
need to have a collaborative effort, like K1 says, and we can spin up, I don't know, a couple of dozen overclock versions of the Bitaxe with a beefier power supply or TPS on it. I mean, I'm happy to do that if someone can design it and figure out a bigger TPS um, for this. I mean, for this challenge. Plus, I mean, if people want to have a one that's got more power. And answer to developer, I'll go. They can go more than 2.1, man. With the
Yeah,
up in
it
weight
can go
that.
way more than that. But K1
Yeah,
was putting out a good point here. Like he was writing, none of the existing designs have the converters required to see that far.
yeah,
Will
that's what
take
we're
longer
talking
than
about. The
10 days to
TPS.
spin boards engineered for the task.
Yeah,
So,
we can wait. We could delay it and do. We could do one with standard Bitaxe, and then we can look at making an overclock version, and we can all play again.
I mean,
We can go for one star where we can all have the same frames, like in the standard Bitaxe. We can
I mean,
make overclock version, and then
I'm currently just in my head trying to fuck around and find out, guys. Maybe PMAX, UW, or K1. Any of you could answer that. Is it possible to have like two of these TPS and face them together? I
or
guess
yeah,
this will interfere the voltage, but because I'm not that deep into when it comes to this hardware detail thing. He K1 said yes, because it's
oh,
designed to be
nice.
slaved up to 4.
Well, let's try and get a couple of made, man. Let's sling a few together.
So if we would design a new BX, there is the challenge of producing them. So we would need to ask probably Ben or another manufacturer to do that. I'm not sure if Ben has any capabilities of doing that in the next foreseeable future. And somebody needs to pay for the hardware. So
I mean, figure out if we could do it, and then I mean, I'm happy to buy half a dozen
I
overclock
mean, placing
boards.
another TPS 546 on it is not that hard. Even myself can do that. But the thing is, you need to pay for the hardware.
Yeah, but that's when now we're going down the rabbit hole. I mean, let's use our standard Bitaxe. I mean, and then we can do it down in different championships, as in 200 series, 400 series, 600 series. Because obviously, not everybody has gammas, and it doesn't have to be the gamma. We can do it with supers, or we could do it with ultras.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm happy to put another 50K for a 200 series challenge. I don't know, I need a bit more time to play with the 400 series before I can get some decent numbers. But 200 series, yeah. Whoever wants to step up for a 200 series 24-hour challenge or a 600 series, I'm happy to put 50K in each just for a bit of fun.
Hmm. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. We could use the current bidaches, but we would quite quickly run into the issue of.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, Duncan, I don't know. Do you think Matt's got any space that he can build half a dozen units or a dozen units for a challenge? If Ben was tied up and not change the production line? Just talking out loud, thinking out loud.
Yeah, Gaga posted a quick web bench. Let's look into that.
Yeah, we can find a. I think that'll be the next challenge to use one that's built for overclocking. Because
I
then we
mean,
need to allow more
that
time
would
to
be so
test.
cool, so rad. Hmm.
Yeah, maybe we should have a community effort to build an overclocking
I would
version of the
design a board with
Bitaxe.
all 4 populated. But K1, that's the thing. 80 amps. No way you're gonna be able to hit that on a single BM137 now. No way.
Well, how do we don't know? What
We don't
do
know,
you
but
mean?
dude, what?
Okay, maybe four is overkill, but two for sure. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know when this thing will go kaboom. I mean, I bought 10 a year ago from Ben on the purpose to fight for it to learn for science.
Ah.
and none of these shits have blown up. So every time on all series, I've run out of power. So I'm happy to do
All
one for
right.
science.
I mean,
I mean,
K1.
if
Wait, wait,
anyone
wait, wait,
designs
wait.
me one, I'll pay for one to be built just to see how far I can push the thing
Let's
before it
put
goes
a little
kaboom.
bit of organization in here. So, I mean, K1, if you're really dedicated to that, would be lovely if you could do that, and we will just delay that, or we
For in this
spin up,
clutch.
I don't know, like a 400 series overclock challenge and a 600 series overclock challenge before we do the actual Bitaxe OC. I mean, you can even call it Bitaxe OC because it is the OC variant then.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe the phone can have bigger holes.
we need
Who
to do
knows?
so many things, especially maybe you even need to consider using 6 layers or these small aluminium plates that Bitmain itself is using on their boards. So,
Maybe a couple of extra fan headers if people want to go the air cooling route and they want more fans. Um, I don't know, bit more space for
I mean, if you really
people.
create like a Bitaxe OC, we need to. K1 needs to come up with the design, which probably will take him a couple of hours. This is one thing. And after that, we need to figure out how many people are actually into that challenge. So we need to do a little bit of promotion for that. And then we need to get the money and spend it on the hardware. So all of them do get their hardware.
Yeah, let's focus on the design first because there's a few things we could ditch, like add a few extra fan headers, ditch the screen. I mean, you're not going to need that kind of stuff when you're
Let's see what K1 has in mind. Probably he does know this shit a little bit.
get rid of the power jack and maybe put something more beefier pads so we can
Yeah, like an
solder on
XT90
cables.
XT90
Yeah,
OLED.
not just naked big pads to solder cables on it.
Dude.
The guy's all tabbed, already designing.
Oh, yeah, he's probably already designed. Aluminium backplates are tricky. Yeah, that's for sure. But Bitmain currently is using that, so therefore, I mean, it's tricky to solder and it's tricky
Could
to
I,
design.
K1, whilst we're here in the design phase, could I suggest if you're gonna go wild and put full power modules like TPSs, can you space them out a bit and maybe punch some holes next to it so we could dump a heatsink on them across all four, please?
Oh my goodness, yeah, K1, I'm sorry. I was not thinking about backplates. I was thinking about PCBs. I'm sorry. Soldering and working with AL is very tricky. Oh yeah, for sure. Hmm. It sounds like this is gonna be expensive. I mean, I do guess probably per bit X.
Yeah.
If you do, let's say like 40 people are interested in that, and then we do order 40 of these customized BitX OC variants. We
Listen, we just need to order the boards, mate, and then the components will be standard
come,
um,
of course, of course, of course.
stuff, and
But
then
even
wherever once
then,
we'll get populated. Worst case, somebody can hand do them. You get somebody who's nerdy enough and can hand solder it.
no, not that many.
There's enough of you hardware junkies soldering on, guys.
I sorted enough of these BitXs that I do know that I never want to do this again in my life. I may be wrong, but not in the
Well,
foreseeable future.
listen, you can retract your 50K and you can put 50K worth of time to put them together.
It's not that long.
You might get one built.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, I mean,
And listen, if it turns off, there's enough crazy guys online that maybe that some of the manufacturers want to make a limited edition or run. I mean, if we use standard Bitaxe components, it'll just be a matter of populating the board a bit differently with the same components without having to shop and change your production line, I guess. If
hmm.
that helps Ben. But I'd be interested. If somebody designs one, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting thing.
But it would need some consultation so we can make sure the design caters for some whatever people need. Heat sinks, spacings, uh, coolers, fan adapters, whatever. We've got to build it for a clock. We do have a clock in mind, and of course, none of it comes with warranty.
Hey, maybe we can apply to the Guinness World Record for the fastest ASIC chip on Bitcoin with
Yeah,
overclocking. Dude,
why not? Let's go.
I'm just trolling. Probably they will not do that, but whatever.
Man, they make okay. Not that they're Guinness, they're
Is
great, but
is there any
there's-
CPU on the Guinness World Records? You spent 10K on the certificate? Do you really?
that's peanuts, dude. For a Guinness World Record, oof.
I mean, Guinness tastes like
You take
piss,
the
but
record,
nevertheless.
take you start a record thing like this, and then you get Discord flooded with. You make your 10K in subscriptions in a week if you want a Guinness record. Exactly. There's a lot of dumb shit, man, in the book. Like all sorts of stuff.
Let's see.
Like how many
Maybe.
people someone can eat or whatever.
Let me see. I'm currently just googling, so I don't see any
Yeah.
CPU in the Guinness World Records. Fastest computer. This was December 9th of 2022. What the? Human computer. Okay.
Anyway, let's start with our OSMU record, and then we'll go for Guinness.
Sounds like a good idea. So maybe we do start with like a smaller standard Bitaxe challenge where we do try to attempt to, yeah, just find the best one on a specific model series, like the 400, 200, 600 series. And then afterwards we do a Bitaxe LC challenge. That would be cool.
Yeah, it was just an idea to have a bit of fun to spice things up, but I mean, we could do all sorts of things. People want just to get people excited. That's the whole purpose.
By the way, still guys in the audience, if you do have any questions or anything else, feel free to ask them, please. And for everybody who's listening later on to this on Discord, if you on any other platform, if you still don't know, we do have our Discord server at awesome, on discord.gg/awesomeU. I'm sorry, the wine is kicking. Oof.
Yeah, as long as the kids are asleep, doesn't matter if the wine's kicking.
You're being mean. Anyway, I don't really know. I don't really have any more topics, to be honest. Lately, I was doing some stupid shit. Um,
Yeah, likewise.
I mean, it's good that we don't really have any topics. Probably there's plenty of topics to speak about and plenty of things going on in some of these channels, but yeah, holiday season. Okay, Duncan
Well,
has a
I'm looking
challenge.
for some
Wait,
sunshine.
wait. Duncan has a challenge idea. Portable renewable power. I want to do a dynamo on my bike, power the Bitaxe while cycling. Stupid, yes, but fun anyway. Huh.
Dude, that's a lot of power. You'd be
No,
amazed.
15 watts.
20 watts, 20 watts out of the bicycle dyno, it's quite a bit.
No,
Um,
no. You need multiple dynos.
yeah, okay. Or you need some decent gearing on it or something. You're gonna have to spin that thing up, at least to be a normal speed, cycling speeds.
She just hang on to a bus. Yes, do that, please.
Duncan, I've got a similar crazy idea that we need to explore. On the aircraft, they have a lot of surplus power from their online entertainment system. So I was thinking out loud that I mean, I tried it whilst I was there. I need to tell you about it, but I ran into this damn portal from the Wi-Fi. Um, and I couldn't for the life of the same in the hotel. I couldn't get past the captive portal unless I spoofed my MAC address and then sort of logged on with the laptop and then told the Wi-Fi that it's the Bitaxe to allow it in. But yeah, for you software guys, is there a way on the Bitaxe you can have like a way that it could go through a captive portal for a hotel or a public Wi-Fi?
What do you mean? So you mean like automatically connecting to Wi-Fi of what?
Um, if you scroll up somewhere, I need to find it. I'll send you the link. I was talking to Scott. So when I was overseas for like 2 weeks, I had the hotel's Wi-Fi, obviously, and free power. So I took a Bitax with me, connected it. But when you log into the hotel, it has a password, but it pops up with like the same thing as the Bitax. It pops up with a capture screen, the
Hmm.
captive port. It says add your room number or no, add the username. No, just the password actually. So you connect to the locked SSID hotel password, like you do at
I
any
do
place,
see,
man.
but SK1 pointed out in the chat it's not easy. Kept portal implementations are usually pretty unique, and as well, the the appropriate way there would be to actually have some sort of like a mini router, connect this to
Well,
the
is
captive
there a
portal, and
way?
then use this Wi-Fi extender.
Okay, well, let me tell you what I would have liked to be able to do. So I've logged on with my computer or my laptop anyway, because I have to authenticate the hotel and all that stuff. Now, is there a way I could connect to the Bitax, say it doesn't connect to the normal SSID,
Hmm.
okay, and then its own access point, I connect to it with my phone. Is there a way I could change the MAC address of the ESP32
No,
and
yes,
sort of
but
give
no,
it?
you don't need to do that. So what you would need to
Well, yeah,
do,
because if I gave it my laptop Mac and then shut down my laptop, it would connect to the captive portal because the captive portal keeps the MAC
yes,
address for like 24 hours.
most of them do. Yeah, that's correct. But the
So,
what
because
you
he
could
only
also do
prompted
is
me in
you
the
could
morning.
use USB tethering and other things. There's always a way.
Uh,
Yeah, Duncan, there's always a way. I mean, this is a unique topic, and Cisco AP, yeah, will fingerprint your device and flag you for this. Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's not only the MAC address that sometimes these captive portals do keep. They also add, as K1 pointed out, fingerprints or other metadata to store information about the device, so that something like spoofing the MAC address cannot happen.
I appreciate a lot of the networks. Some are more sophisticated than others, but I can assure you the Radisson Hotel's Wi-Fi was dog shit because I did exactly what I'm saying on my phone between my Android and my laptop to pretend, but I couldn't get the Bitax to change. So that particular network worked with just the MAC address. So I appreciate there'll be other ones that are more secure, but majority of basic Wi-Fi like this on hotels are not that. They're certainly not packing no Cisco hardware.
Yeah, probably we are way too sophisticated when it comes to hardware networking.
Yeah, no. Why I'm pretty decent with it. I've had my time on it, but this one I tested it with other hardware, and it was just Mac related. So I didn't know if there was an easy way in the UI of the Bitax that you could display the MAC address and then allow a user to change it.
I
And
mean,
I'll
the
just
MAC
copy.
address, changing it over the UI, phew, I mean, it would be implementable, but I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, and most new Androids, including mine, gives me the option, and it gives you does a randomized MAC address every time anyway. So it's not something that's unusual. No, I agree, K1. Yeah, universities tend to be quite a thing. But then again, we have more time when we're at uni to dick around and get around it.
What else is coming up to your mind, guys? Let's see. Developer algo is writing in the chat.
No, I'll be right, B. I'm gonna get a drink.
All right. No, you guys are right. Changing MAC addresses are not that. It's not trivial for sure, and it's probably not a good idea to implement something like this into the firmware. But regardless of that, Duncan is now a speaker.
Hello. Just wanted to let you guys know. So I work very closely with Gecko Science. SideHack, or Matt, is a very good friend of mine. And we've been talking about his iteration of the of his Gecko Science Bitaxe. And there's been a notable design change. I'm not sure if you guys know about it. So I've seen on Twitter lately, well, historically, people doing the stacking Bitaxes through the four corner holes, if you know what I mean. So the Gecko Science Bitaxe has the ability now to do power delivery through one of those pads on the back. So if you flip your Bitaxe over, you'll see the copper pads around the holes. So you can bridge a solder joint now to do direct power delivery. So that's ground 5 volt, and actually the serial data, which I requested for integration with the BitHalo. But essentially, it allows you to do power delivery, so you don't have to use any cables at all. So if you did a massive stack of Bitaxes with metal or brass standoffs, whatever, between them, in theory, you could you have a parallel chain of power running up those rods to power your. On the Gecko Science ones, yeah, it is. It's so any of the Gecko Science Bitaxes now have that built in. In fact, if you give me 1 sec, I've got one here. I'll snap a photo of it and I'll ping it up. Hang on. Can't do that. I don't know what my phone is. Anyway, I'll put it up in the Gamma chat in a bit. But yeah, essentially, there's a pad on the back that you bridge, and it routes power to the to one of the pads. So yeah, it just might be worth considering, just because I know people like making things. It's just a cool little feature. That's all.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I've got some ideas, which is kind of why I've asked for it to be implemented. But I just think it will change the way that people do power delivery.
Does he have the firmware also, the source to the firmware somewhere? Because currently I only.
It's a stock firmware.
Oh, I see. All right, gotcha.
Give me 1 sec. No idea where my phone is, so I can't take a photo. Yeah, it's a stock firmware. It's a stock Bitaxe, except for the fact that they've routed the power. You just need to bridge a solder pad in the back, and you can do power delivery through those little rear pads, which will really help with mounting for like solar projects and whatever. But yeah, just wanted to share that.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Cool.
I mean, anyway, we are. How close are the pads to 5G ground?
Hello.
Oh, I don't know.
Did I miss Duncan?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I didn't have anything interesting really. I was just basically just making noise. I just like hearing my own voice.
Sounds good.
Anyway, I mean, we're looking at coming close to 10 p.m. my time, so I'm thinking about closing this session, unless anybody, if you just have another topic that you want to guys talk about.
Happy to continue in the general thing if you want to shut it down.
I mean, yeah, we can definitely, and I always encourage people to go over into the general voice if you want to have a chat afterwards, the town hall. Feel free to do that. Any news on the Nerdnos? Yes. Today I ordered 500 pieces. So
send me one. Send me one.
You both will receive one. I already have it ready. I just need to package it and ship it over to you guys.
You've had it ready for 2 months. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's true. I do had it ready for a lot of time, and
sorry, Benja, I've taken all 500 already, man. You're gonna have to wait. But
it is so ridiculous. Okay, let me tell you this story.
I didn't tell you the story. I'm making a cluster.
So probably
please
you guys
call it a clusterfuck.
Hey, psst.
Sorry, I'll be quiet. I'm going.
No, it's good. It's good. Stay here. So what I was about to say is, some of you guys probably do know I live in Germany, and I had this sophisticated idea of producing these things in Germany, because I was thinking, hey, Ben, for example, is producing over in the US and is placing made in the US on his device. Why don't I place made in Germany over here on this device? Would be lovely to see that. Yeah, it would. But the matter of fact is, it is hilarious how bad this idea was. So Just to give you some idea of how bad it is, I started the production in Germany about 3 months ago. I still haven't received one single unit because the first 2 months they were doing nothing. And short before Christmas, they replied to me, hey, yeah, now we're finally starting the production. It will take approximately 4 to 5 weeks. We will be right back on you. During my waiting period, earlier in December, I decided, you know what? I do know some other people over in China that can produce this. I told them, hey, I need that. It's so crazy. Like literally in 2 weeks, I got a sample, and now I ordered a stack of 500 of them because it is just so ridiculous. And on top of that, the price in China is half of it. It's insane. I'm just blown away by this idiot's stuff going on here. But nevertheless, so yeah, hopefully very soon these things will be available in multiple stores. And developer, wait, I've seen your message. I'll send you one for sure as well.
I have another question.
Yeah,
Do you remember the discussion we had about the jobs postings? Did you speak to the team?
Yeah, that's not happening for multiple reasons. Do you want me to go over that?
No, it's all right.
All right. Yeah, so the idea of producing something in Germany is stupid, I guess. At least for now, unless you do have your own factory, probably. Then it's going to be a good idea, but I don't know what my thoughts about this was. Probably I was getting something injected from Make America Great Again. If you would port this over to Germany, you would quite quickly go into a corner that is probably not the best idea to say this out loud, but yeah, for now, this was not a good idea. Hopefully, I will receive my order.
Keep it for the general channel, man. Wrap this up in general channel. We can talk freely.
It's always freely. Town Hall is always freely. Why should I not talk about anything else that I would always talk about?
You know, you were talking about Germany. It's a nice thing.
I mean, there's nothing to hide on this end, and that's also the thing that I want to make sure here. There's nothing that's been hiding in front of anybody. As probably everybody does have their own secrets, for sure. Everybody does. But when it comes to things, no, everything else is fine on my end there. Nothing wrong with German engineering. No, nothing. I do agree on that. Like, I've seen the work of plenty of awesome engineers, and I do know a lot of people that are in here in this Discord that are from Germany and working on hardware designs and other things. It's amazing how great their work looks. But yeah, when it comes to actually producing something and becoming a manufacturer, not really, but becoming the one who is ordering other manufacturers to do the job for him, it is a hurdle. And
German Post sucks, by the way.
Oh yeah, German Post sucks. DHL, which is the official German post here, basically we do have Deutsche Post, but if you do send a package, anything bigger than a normal envelope, it's gonna be shipped by DHL, and it sucks. Like, I do remember 1 year ago I was shipping something that was time critical to a friend of mine, and on the same date I shipped something that was not time critical to another friend of mine. Both of them lived approximately the same amount of kilometers away from me, so I don't know, like 500 kilometers ish. The standard delivery got there first, and the express was delayed by 4 days. So it's, I don't know. It is not good. Yeah, whatever. I do think there are no more topics that we should talk about here on the town hall. If you would love to come over in the general voice and just have a chat over there, would be awesome. So unless that, I thank everybody for being here in the audience. I thank everybody who was tuning in later today or listening later onto the recorded town hall. Till then, see you in 2 weeks, and goodbye.